Not long after I began my work at Covenant Church in Hagerstown, getting to know people was the first thing I did. I went to everybody in the whole congregation in their homes to get to know who they are, where they were, how they feel. Just tell me who you are, and I'll share that with you. And one day, not long after that, a woman that I had never met before came to me and she said, you know, there's something here that maybe you ought to know about. There's a book that I found at the library. It's not very long, but I think that you talk the way this guy does, or he talks the way you do in the book. And I said, oh, really? She said, yes, it's due at the library in a couple of weeks or a week or whatever it is. Take it along and read it. You might like it. Okay. I didn't really feel like I wanted to. But as a matter of fact, when I got it and looked at it and started reading it a bit, something amazing occurred. It was a guy named Frederick Buechner. He became a Presbyterian minister, but he also at that time began to write. He wrote good books, very good ones. First of all, kind of things that we hear about all the time, but then he got into more things about faith and about those kinds of things. And I started to read it like the Dickens, back and forth. The guy was so good that I decided I would write to him. I'd never written to any writer in my life, but I wanted to write this one. And I wrote it. He lives up in Maine. And I said to him in the thing, I said, listen, I don't want to take your time, but I just want you to know I love what you're writing. You're doing almost something new for the world. The thoughts and ideas that you're coming across with, you are doing amazing things. I'm even using your stuff in my college where I'm teaching these days. And I said, I just want to say that to you and say thank you and goodbye. You don't have to write back. I'm not trying to get you to give me anything. I just want to let you know what I think. A week later, he wrote me a 3-page letter. And he talked about what he was doing and thank you for doing what you did. It was so fine. He said, you know something? When writers write, nobody sees them. Nobody sees their work until they buy it somewhere to read it. He said, you're calling me or you're writing to me would be a wave from the back row. And I really appreciate that. And I did. And I kept on reading his books, and I've read them all. And I've used them for a lot of different things. But here's one that he wrote that I would like to share. It's not my work, it's his, but it's too good to pass over. It's about the word grace. His book is about different words all through. And it's even called a theological ABC, wishful thinking. And here's what he wrote that I think is just so fine. The word grace. After centuries of handling and mishandling, most religious words have become so shop-worn, nobody much is interested anymore. Not so with grace for some reason. Mysteriously, even derivatives like gracious and graceful still have some of the bloom left. Grace is something you can never get, but only be given. There's no way to earn it or deserve it or bring it about in any more than you can deserve the taste of raspberries and cream, or earn good looks or bring about your own birth. A good sleep is grace, and so are good dreams. Most tears are grace. The smell of rain is grace. Somebody loving you is grace. Loving somebody is grace. Have you ever tried to love somebody? A crucial eccentricity of the Christian faith is the assertion that people are saved by grace. There's nothing you have to do. There's nothing you have to do. There's nothing you have to do. The grace of God means something like this. Here is your life. You might never have been, but you are, because the party wouldn't have been complete without you. Here's the world. Beautiful and terrible things will happen. Don't be afraid. I am with you. Nothing can ever separate us. It's for you. I created the universe. I love you. And I go to somebody's house, and I see this on their refrigerator door, and they read it, and they live by it. And it's a wonderful thing. He's written books since that time, good ones, but I think he's very old now, and probably not capable of reading or writing at all. I think that's it.